My name is Trần from Foreign Trade University. Today I will show you exercise number 7 in your exercise book. In this exercise, you will know how to manage the monthly salaries in a company. You have to apply some index function, that is Vlookup and Hlookup, to fill the data in this blank column, that is department, gender, and allowance. And then after that, you can count some other data, that is salary and the total income. The monthly salary table, that is the main data table in the database. In the next page, you can see some smaller table, that is department code list, position allowance list, and table of the gender code list. For example, when you see the employee code of the first people in the list, that is Trần Vân Hà, and you can see the employee code, that is A1DDF. So please look at the employee code. You can see the first character of the code, that is A. Please look at the there in here. Employee code will include the first character is department code. I've just told you the first character, that is A. So you have to look in the department code list. In the department code, you can search for A. Here it is. So the department will be the planning department. You have to bring planning text and insert it here. So the department of Trần Vân Hà, that is planning. So you have to fill planning here. So how can you find out planning characters? You have to take out the first character of the employee code, and then you have to search in the department code list here. I will show you some special function. I will share my PowerPoint screen, and now you can see the slide. I am opening the lookup and reference function. You can see there are two important functions in lookup and reference function. That is Hlookup, and the next one will be the Vlookup. What is lookup? Lookup, that is you have to find something. You have to search something. So what is H and what is V? H stands for horizontal and V stands for vertical. So when you search the data in a table which is standing in a row, or I mean the table is in the horizontal, you have to apply the Hlookup. But when the table data is stand in the vertical, so you have to apply Vlookup. The first function, that is Hlookup. In this function, you can see there are 4 arguments in the function. The first one, the first argument, that is the lookup value. The second argument, that is the table array. Table array, that is a table of information in which data is looked up. I mean the small data table. And the third one, that is row index number, and the fourth one, the last argument, that is the range lookup. I will show you how to apply this function to solve our data table. I will copy the data in the exercise book to Microsoft Excel worksheet. I've just copied the data from Microsoft Word into this Excel worksheet. Here you can see the title here and the table name here. After that, I will leave a blank row, and then I will start enter the data. This area, that is the main table. And look at the below, you can see some smaller table, that is department code list, position allowance list, and the table of the gender code here. So you have to apply some function to find out what is the department of the table in the list. So I will apply a function here. I am trying to fill the department column in the table. So you have to find out the department code list. This table is standing in horizontal. This one is in vertical. This one is in vertical. So when you want to take the data to the main table above, so this is the table in horizontal. That's why you have to apply the Hlookup function. I will start with equal, and then Hlookup. When you type the function name and then open bracket, you can see the syntax of the function will appear below. You can see the syntax here. It is very easy. You don't need to remember all the arguments of the function. You can look at the syntax below. The first argument of each lookup function, that is lookup value. So what is the lookup value? Lookup value, that is the employee code, but only the first character of employee code. It will be a character. The main table and the department code list will link together with the department code here, A, B, or C. A, B, or C will link to employee code, but only the first character is the employee code. That is the link data. So the lookup value will be the link data, but you cannot click immediately on the employee code. Why? Because you can see the employee code B7 cell here. Employee code, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters in employee code, but in the data table you can see only 1 character. You cannot compare 5 characters here to 1 character here. That's why you cannot click immediately on the employee code. So I will apply one more function to take out only 1 character of the employee code. What do you think about the function I will apply to take out only 1 character, the first character of the employee code? What do you think? I will take out only 1 character on the left, so that's why I will apply one more function here, that is the left function. Stand inside the Hlookup function. The left function will be the first argument of the Hlookup function. And then I will click on the employee code, the second character of the left function, that is the number. How many characters you have to take out from the text? The answer is only 1. The number will be 1. So when you want to take out only 1 character, you can omit the number argument. You can forget it. And now that's why you can close bracket. If you want to take out 2 characters, you have to enter 2, comma, and then 2, and then close bracket. But if you want to take only 1 character, you can close bracket immediately. So left B7, that is the first argument of the Hlookup function, that is the lookup value argument. And now comma, the second argument, that is the table array. Lookup value, that is a character, and then you will bring into this data to search, to look up where is a. So the table array, that is the range of the data you want to search here. The table array, that is the range of the data below. Now you have to pay attention. I will press F4. Press F4 after select area of the table. When I press F4, the data range will become absolute references. Do you remember absolute references and the other references? Because this table on the people in the list will use this area to look up the value. That's why when you select this area of the table, you have to change the reference into the absolute references, comma. And now the third argument, that is row index number. Row index number, that is the number of rows you will bring the data. You will take planning, the department name, that is planning administration or accounting value, to the main table. So department name in this table, that is the second row. That's why I will type 2 here. That is row index number. I will take the data in the second row in this table to the main table. That's why I will type 2 here. Next, I will move to the last argument, the fourth one. The last argument of Hlookup function, that is range lookup. You can see true or false here, but you shouldn't use true or false. You don't care when you will apply true, when you will apply false. For the last argument, you always type 0. Please remember the last argument in Hlookup and Vlookup function will be 0. Just type 0. It will always correct for you. And now I will close bracket. I finish, enter all the arguments for the Hlookup function, and then enter. I will copy the function to all table columns. I will open this one. Because the lookup value argument, that is B7, and I don't press F4. That's why when I copy the function from here to all the other cell in the column, that's why B7 will become B13 here. But in this data range, you can see after select the range, I press F4 and the data range will be converted to the absolute references. That's why you can see some dollar sign here. So when a data range is in absolute references, when you copy the data from the top to the bottom in the columns, you can see the data range is not changed, still stand in C25 to F26 because you apply the absolute references. So absolute references is very important. You have to pay attention and you have to remember. Okay, that's the department column. And now I will show you the gender column. How can you know what is the gender of this employee? The first people in the list, that is Trần Vân Hà. Please look at the employee code. In this employee code, the last character of the employee code, that is stand for the gender of the people. You can see F here. The next people, that is M. F, F, M. So please look at the table of the gender code here. M, that is male, and F, that is female. This table is stand in vertical. So that's why you have to apply the Vlookup function here. The first argument of the Vlookup function, that is the lookup value, that is similar to the Hlookup. You cannot click here because the employee code, there are 5 characters in the employee code, but the gender code is only 1 character. That's why you have to apply one more function here, that is the right function. The right function, that is the first argument of the Vlookup function. And you will take out only 1 character. That's why after you select the employee code, you can close the bracket immediately. Comma, the second argument, that is table array, this one. And please make sure to convert to the absolute references. If you leave relative references, and when you copy the function to the other cell in the list, this table will move and the result will be wrong. So that's why you have to click F4 key on the keyboard to convert the data range from relative references into absolute references. The third argument, that is called index number. When you apply the Hlookup function, the third argument will be row index number. But in the Vlookup function, it will be the core index number. Core index number, that means you will take the gender data here to the main table. The gender data stand in the second column. So that's why you will type 2 here. That is the second column, comma. And next argument, range lookup, the fourth argument of the lookup function. I told you already, the fourth argument always be 0. Just type 0 and then close bracket. Now you can copy to the other gender cell in the list. Next one, allowance. You can see the position allowance list here. MG, that is manager. Allowance will be 3 million. Where is position code in the employee code? Please look carefully in the employee code. You can see these 2 characters, position code, and this one, that is OF. The third person will be HD. So how can you take out HD from employee code? When you apply some function to find out the allowance data for the table, you can see the table here, position allowance list. This table is standing vertically. So that's why you will apply Vlookup also. The first argument of the Vlookup function, that is lookup value. How can you take out DD from employee code? You can apply some function. I will apply the right function. We will take out first 3 characters on the right of the employee code. So I will select this one. I will apply the right function here. And then I will take out the first 3 characters on the right. That will be DDF. And then I will apply one more function. That is left function. And I will take out only 2 first characters of the result of the right function. Please look at these functions very carefully. I will repeat. First of all, you will apply the right function to take out the first 3 characters on the right of the employee code. And then you will apply the left function to take out the first 2 characters of the result. And now you can take out DD character for the lookup value argument of the Vlookup function. And then I will move to the next argument, that is comma. Now I will insert the table array argument. Table array, that is this data range. After select the data range, I will press F4 to convert into absolute references. And then call index number. In this data table, I will take allowance data to the main table. Allowance is the second column. That's why I will type 2 here. And the last argument always be 0. Please look at the position allowance list. Allowance data here. You can see 3 millions. The number here, you can see some comma separate into different groups. But when you copy the data from the list table into the main table, you can see 3 million here. 3 million, you cannot see this number into different groups, only 3 million. So you have to apply some formatting way. You have to change the format of this data. You can select allowance columns, and then you can click on the comma style button here. On the home tab, you can see the comma style button in this area, and you can click on the comma style here, and then you can decrease decimal here. And when you click decrease decimal, you can see your data is look more professional. So after applying 3 functions, you can see the data in the department, gender, and allowance are filled. And the next column give me salary and the total income. How can you calculate the salary column? You can look at the exercise book task 5. You have to calculate salary will equal coefficient multiply basic salary. So salary will equal coefficient multiply basic salary. Basic salary is entered in a cell in the datasheet, this area. So when you select the basic salary here, you have to press F4 to apply the absolute references. And I can click on the comma style here. When you see the data like this, just enlarge the size of the column. You can click on the decrease decimal. For the total, you can click on the auto sum button here. The total income will equal allowance plus salary, and then enter. You can move the cursor here and then double click. For the total, you can click on the auto sum, enter. So you have a full data table here. I can press some button to format the table. For the total, I will select from here to here and then click on the merge and center. For the top row of the table, that is the title row, you can click some button to format the title row. First of all, that is B in bold, center, center. And then maybe you can click on the fill color to make it some color. Okay, in the last row in the table, you can select it and then make it in bold. Let's move to next task of the exercise. You can see the income table here. You have to calculate how many employees who has more than 2 children and how many employees who has less than or equal to 2 children. When you want to count how many, you can apply the Countif function. In this column, that is salary total, you have to sum with condition. So salary total, you can apply the Sumif function. Allowance total and the income total, that is Countif function. First of all, that is number of employee. I will apply the Countif function here. You can see the Countif in the list. You can double click on the Countif function. In the Countif function, there are two arguments. The first one, that is the range argument. Range, that is the data range you want to count. That is number of employees. So I will select the number of children column in the main table. But you have to make sure you will press F4 to convert into the absolute reference, and then comma. The second argument in Countif function, that is criteria. Criteria, that is this one. You will apply the criteria in this cell to the range. So you will count how many number in this range is greater than 2. So the Countif function, the first argument, that is the range, the number of children column in the main table. And the second argument, criteria, that is greater than 2. You can click here and then enter. You can get the result equal 2. I will check by myself in the number of children column, only 1 and 2 here. You can see only 2 number greater than 2. So the result here, 2, that is correct. Now you can copy. So the result of less than or equal to 2, that is 8. You can see 10 people and 2 is greater than 2. So the result 8, that is correct. For the total, you can move the cursor here and then click on the auto sum button. Next one, that is salary total. Salary total, I've just told you, you will apply the Sumif function. When you select the Sumif function, you can see 3 arguments in the syntax: range, criteria, and the sum range. The first argument, that is range. Range, that is the number of children. Then press F4. Next argument, criteria. You can select on the number of children here. And the last one, sum range. You are calculating for the salary total. So the sum range will be the salary column. This column. The range, that is number of children. Criteria, that is greater than 2. You select and apply the criteria for this data range, and the sum range will be the salary column here. Because the salary column is standing here, so you will press F4 to convert into the absolute references, and then close bracket and enter. You can click on the comma sign and then increase decimal, and then you can copy auto sum. For the allowance total, very easy. Similar than salary total, I will apply the Sumif function. The range, that is the number of children. Press F4, comma. Click on the criteria, number of children greater than 2, and then comma. Sum range, you are calculating for allowance total, so the sum range will be the allowance here. And then remember to press F4 to convert into absolute references, and then enter. Click on the comma style, decrease decimal, and then copy, and then move here auto sum. For the total income, you can apply Sumif one more time, or you can apply equal this one plus this one. There are 2 ways for the total income column. First of all, you can apply the Sumif function, or you can apply the function like this. What do you think about this exercise? Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, for next task of the exercise, you have to make a report income table based on the position. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 position, and you have to calculate the number of employees, salary total, allowance total, and the total income here. When you see the criteria, you have to apply some function, Countif or Sumif. But when you see the report table like this, some position stand here. So I will show you a very powerful function of Microsoft Excel, that is PivotTable function. If you want to apply the PivotTable function, because you have to make a report based on the position code, that is MG, HDDD, or OF. But in the main table, you can see only employee code with 5 or 6 characters inside. So you cannot use to make a report. You have to insert one more column. This position code. And then you can apply employee code, and then I will take out 3, and then I will apply the left function and take out only the first 2 characters. And now the data table is enough data and ready for you to apply the PivotTable function. You will move the cursor into any cell inside your data, and then you can click insert, and the PivotTable function is stand here. You can click on the PivotTable. When you click on the PivotTable, a new window will appear, and you have to select your table to create the PivotTable. Microsoft Excel will automatically select the data area for you. You can see your data is A4 to L17. Is it correct or not? You have to look carefully and decide the data range is correct or not. If you agree with Microsoft Excel, you can move to next step, but be careful. Please look at the data range very carefully. And you can see Microsoft Excel select the 17 row here. That is the total row. You don't select the total area inside the PivotTable. That's why you can change the data in the table range. That is not 17. I select only to 16. That means from here to here. I don't select the total inside the PivotTable. The next option in the Create PivotTable window, that is choose where do you want to PivotTable report to be placed. You can see 2 options here. The first one, that is new worksheet, and the second one, that is existing worksheet. Normally, you will select the second option, that is existing worksheet. If you select the new worksheet, the report will be appear in a new worksheet. Excel will insert one more new worksheet and move the report to this new one. But you should choose the existing worksheet option. PivotTable will create a report for you. So where you want to place the report table, you will select the existing worksheet and the location. You can click this button and decide where is your report table will placed. I will click here. I will place my report in this area. That's why I will select the first cell of the range here. After that, press enter. So when you create a PivotTable, you have to pay attention into 2 options. The first option, that is table range. Microsoft Excel will select your data automatically. You have to check if it is correct. You can move to next option. But if it's not correct, you have to fix by yourself. And the second option, that is where you want to place your report table. Normally, you should select the existing worksheet option, and the location you can click here to decide where you want to place your PivotTable report. I will click OK. When you click OK on the right of Microsoft Excel window, you can see the PivotTable field here. On the top of the PivotTable pane, you can see the field list. What is the field list? The field list, that is how many columns in your table. You can see the number column, employee code column, the last name, first name, department, gender, number of children. Which column you want to insert into your report? First of all, of course, that is the position code. You can select position code here. When you select the position code, you can see the PivotTable area is changing now. The second one must be number of employees. So you can click, for example, department. When you click on the department will appear on the row area. Please look at this area. You can see 4 areas here. First one, that is the filter. Second one, that is column. Third one, that is rows. And the fourth one, that is value. You want to create the pivot table using position code. So position code will appear on row. But if you want to count how many employees in this position, so the number of employees, that is the department, must be appear on the value area. You can click on department here and you have to move department from row to the value area like it. Or you don't select this one. You click on the department and move to the value area immediately. That's correct. 2 ways. First way, you select this one and move to the value. The second way, you can select the department and move to the value. The number of employees, you can select the position code. And one more time, you will move the position code here. It can count a position code. Next one, that is salary total. You can select the salary and move to the value. Next one, allowance total. You can select the allowance and move to the value area. The last one, that is income total. You can select the income total in the list and move into the value area. After select column into the correct position, you can see the report appear here, created automatically by the PivotTable function. And now you can click here to change the data title. You can double click here and change the name of the column. For example, you can type number of employees. Okay, sum of salary, you can change into salary total. After creating the report, you have to change the title. You have a report here, very easy. And now you can format the table. For example, I will change the font into Times New Roman. For the title, I will select the table title and then in bold, center, and then wrap text. So you can select the data, the number, and click on the comma style and then decrease decimal. For example, you have to calculate the percent of the income total. I select total income one more time and move to the value area. The sum of the total here, I will click on the sum of the total and then click on the value field setting and click on the show values as. I will change from no calculation into percent of the grand total and then OK. So you can see when I select total income one more time and move to the value area, and then you can change the way the data will appear. I change into the percent of the grand total. So you can see the data will appear in the percent now. So in this exercise, I told you how to apply important function, that is Hlookup and Vlookup function in Microsoft Excel. Hlookup and Vlookup can help you to take some data from a table into the main table. You can bring the data here, planning, administration, accounting, into the main table. You can know how to apply a very powerful function in Microsoft Excel, that is the PivotTable function. With the PivotTable function, you can easily to calculate your data. You can create very powerful report with this function. Very easy. If you want to change something of the pivot table, when you move the cursor outside of the pivot table area, you cannot see the pane on the right anymore. If you want to change anything, please select any cell inside the pivot table area. The pivot table pane will appear again on the right of the Microsoft Excel window. You can change everything inside the pivot table pane. And remember, when you click on the pivot table area, you can see some tab will appear. That is Analyze and Design tab. You can click on the Analyze and Design tab. For example, when your data is changing, you can click on the Refresh button on Analyze area. You can click here to refresh your data. All the data in the pivot table here will be refreshed and recalculate